What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Malcolm Miller. People are mad that Colin Kaepernick was named GQ Citizen of the Year. It's people saying that defensive end for the Houston Texans, J.J. Watt, should be Citizen of the Year, specifically for him raising over $30 million for the Hurricane Harvey victims. He should be the one that should be applauded in the magazine as Citizen of the Year, not Colin Kaepernick, because he didn't raise his money for the victims of Hurricane Harvey like J.J. Watt did. And to that I say, that's complete BS. I couldn't disagree more. And J.J. Watt should be applauded for what he did. Let's be honest, that's a great, noble deed for him to do. He saw his fellow American citizens in need, and he came to their aid in times of desperation, in times of severe need. You know, it's great thing that he did. I'm not taking anything away from him. But I'm going to say what Colin Kaepernick did, why he should be Citizen of the Year. First of all, he came and spoke on an issue that he knew would alienate him from a lot of people, that would ostracize him from a lot of people. He knew there was a risk of him losing his job. No matter if you think he's good or not, he's better than a lot of these dudes that's been signed recently. Way better. If it wasn't for him standing up for this situation, taking a knee, he would have a job. Absolutely. And you can't tell me otherwise. Last year, he finished the season with 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Like, somebody was going to pick him up, definitely. His stats are better than a lot of guys that are getting deals right now, still getting signed. It seems like people are just signing everybody but him just to piss him off. But understand, he did this from a place of no comfort zone at all. Like, nobody was going to go against J.J. Watt. Nobody was going to say that he shouldn't be doing this. Nobody was going to say it was bad for him to do this, right? So I'm not condemning J.J. Watt for what he did. He should be applauded. But understand, Colin Kaepernick had everything to lose coming from this situation. Coming out and speaking out against police brutality against unarmed African-American men. I mean, not even men, just unarmed African-American people as a whole. He knew it was a huge risk, and he still came out and spoke about it. And that type of man should be applauded in today's society, where people just care about money and their riches and their wealth. He came out and spoke out about something that people deem uncomfortable, that people don't like to talk about. People don't like to talk about race at all. It makes them uncomfortable. But guess what? We're not going to ignore it just because it makes somebody uncomfortable. Just because it makes you uncomfortable does not mean it shouldn't be talked about and addressed. He brought it up in a setting that made people outside that aren't even affected by these issues stop and think about it and have a conversation about police brutality, because it's a very real thing. You see, it's people that when they're not affected by something, they think that things are a figment of other people's imagination, because they would like to live in a bubble where they think the police can do no wrong, nothing bad can happen to you. All you got to do is comply and things are going to go smooth. But we see that that's not true, because Alston Sterling complied, Philando Castile complied, and still was shot cold in front of their significant others. Like, Philando Castile was shot in front of his daughter and his girlfriend. Like, how more brutal could that be? You know what I mean? It's not a figment of our imagination at all. And Colin Kaepernick took a risk and talked about it. It's something to be said. Martin Luther King has this quote: "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." And that's Colin Kaepernick. He risked it all, and he knew it was a chance that he was never going to play in the NFL again, which it looks like he's never going to play in the NFL again right now. But he still came out and spoke on behalf of his people, because he saw atrocities being committed, and he said, "I'm no longer going to let this go on," especially in a time period where athletes are timid and afraid to speak up because they don't want to lose endorsements. They don't want to alienate people that buy their products, like Michael Jordan, who's always been scared despite him being the greatest athlete in the world, and people love and endear him so much they would listen to anything he says. Mike always ducked from it. Colin Kaepernick never ducked from it. So J.J. Watt should be applauded, but he came from a point of comfort. Nobody was going to go against a man giving back money to hurricane victims, but Colin Kaepernick knew it.